Hello ladies and gentle ladies, welcome back to another Industria development stream, and today we are going to be continuing working on the multi-block system. And I don't really know what the goal for today is. I was going to say finish it, but that's obviously not going to happen. I don't really know what the goal is going to be today, so I guess we're all going to just find out kind of as we go. And see what happens. Hello Rat, welcome to the stream. And yeah, let's get started. So even though I say we're working on multi-blocks today, I don't actually know what we're working on today. I know the multi-block system needs some work, so we are going to have to start by figuring out what that work will entail. Now, probably the best place to start, I think, with the multi-block system today is gonna just be continuing to work on the UI for the multi-block designer. I think that's probably the best way to start. Alternatively, we could possibly just try and get an implementation of a multi-block done. That's possible too. The primary issue we have, well, actually one of the biggest issues we're going to have as of right now, actually, yeah, this is what we'll work on today. So the biggest problem with the multi-block system right now is that even though we've developed this multi-block designer, it exports it as a JSON file. Now, unfortunately, we actually currently can't read multi-blocks as JSON files. So a good place to start would be to figure out how to actually make multi-blocks readable as JSON files. And then afterwards we will need to fix the exporting as well, because that doesn't export it in the right format, it just exports it. So not really helpful at the moment. So I think first of all, let's figure out how the hell we can load a multi-block as a JSON file, which will involve devising some kind of structure format that we want. I'm peeking? I should not be peeking. OBS does not say I'm peeking. Why am I peeking? 1 second. Oh, that's blinding. OBS says it's fine, so I don't know why I would be peeking. Oh wow, I really am peeking, huh? Let me try something. Let me try that. No, that. Does that fix it? Test, test, hello, hello, test, hello, 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 hello. It's still peaking like a little bit. It hasn't really changed anything. Okay, so presumably this is 10 million times worse. Is that correct? Oh god, yes. Okay. Let's try. I don't know how to fix this. It's probably the filters I have. If I try like... No, I don't think that will really help actually, because that's not what I want. I want something like... no, not that one. No. That should all be fine. Let's try something. This might be a really bad idea, but let's try something. I'm going to remove some of my filters. And see what happens. What has that done? That hasn't really changed anything. Okay, let me do this one. get rid of that one. Has that made a difference? Maybe a little bit. I can't really tell, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's much better. I think it's peaking a little bit still. Let's try and remove this one as well. Okay, what has that done? Oh my god! Is that better? Yeah, but that's still way too loud. Okay, what about now? Okay, the problem is YouTube's delayed by like 10 seconds, so this is like not easy to figure out. Is that better? No, it's still like peaking. Why is it peaking? I don't have any filters on. Okay, I've made myself quieter so you guys don't have to hear it peaking so much. Okay, I have an idea. It's not an ideal idea, but it will work. Only problem is I just removed all my friggin' filters, didn't I? So okay, why is Windows... Okay, Windows is being... It's not bringing up the settings. Right, let me try... this. Is that better? Oh, now I can't even hear myself. Oh, very little sound is coming through. Okay, so is that better? I think that's better, right? Okay. Okay, so basically it's because Windows... Okay, this is super weird, but apparently having my input volume on 100% causes it to peak. Which is kind of weird. I don't think it should do that. But I turned it down to 70% and now it doesn't do that. So, I don't know. But if that works, I'll take that. That's good enough for me. Okay. So, what we were working on, or trying to start working on, was multi-block as adjacent. So, how do we even start with this? Okay. What we can try and do is we should be able to find the multi-block registry somewhere. Would it be in here? This, right? Yeah, so I added this bootstrap here thing, but this bootstrap thing here, but I don't think that's what you're meant to do. So okay, well we can try. I think so. If we go into the data gen real quick, data gen into what is this? interesting. Right, I was trying to figure this all out, and I didn't really understand it. Didn't really understand any of it. Have you had a nice day? Sure. I genuinely have not done anything today. Today has been extremely unproductive. I've actually just, this week, generally, I've been so unproductive. I don't know why. I've just not had any desire to do anything. It's really bad. But yeah, so I haven't really done anything. Wait, where's... Oh yeah, this is what I was looking for. I was trying to find this. Oh yeah, I tried doing this, but it didn't work, I think. Or something. Something didn't work about it. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been very unproductive recently. I don't know why. It's a bit annoying, but, you know. Should we try that? Do I have... So I think when I tried to do this before, this just, like, crashed. But we can try again and see if it does that or not. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't like this multi-block system. It's just like not... It's just a pain to develop in every single way possible. But there isn't really a different way to do it. At least not one that I can think of. So... I think we're just going to have to stick with it, but I kind of actually prefer the original multi-block system. But, like, as a player, I think this one would be better. So, I just need to figure out... Yeah, this is what it was saying before. This is what I couldn't figure out. Yeah, I just need to change how they're developed, I think. Like, I'll be honest, I built this whole multi-block designer thing, and I'm also thinking, like, was it even worth doing that? Because it's just a pain. I don't know. I think it's more of a pain because I have to link it up. Like, I have to place a block down, and then I have to link it up, and then I have to do all this and do all that. It's kind of a pain. I think if I could develop it all in that one screen, it would be okay. Yeah, I also have no idea how to fix this, by the way, guys. Because it doesn't really tell me what the issue is, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, all it says is basically multiple entries with same key. But, like, that's not true. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because... I don't know. How does this work? This calls... Oh, right, because this is a record. I see. Okay. As I say, guys, I don't know if this is how you're meant to do things or not, because I have never developed my own latest gen my own data gen like provider like this before, so I don't really know exactly how you're meant to do it. Something tells me this isn't correct. Well, I mean, it's obviously not correct because something isn't working, but I don't know exactly what's not working, and it doesn't really tell me. Multiple entries with same key. There's a universal lookup and there's a registry set builder. Right. So they are two different things. So the registry set builder is, so that's this part, right? So maybe I'll just remove this, but I think you need that. Let's see what happens without it. And then we'll go from there. Because that's fine. That's fine. Oh, well that ran. Okay, interesting. What happens if I swap it? So what if I comment this one out and then leave this one in? So if we import, what does that do? Okay, so it's an issue with this then, basically. Interesting. Did you see the new mob models? Yes. So if we go maybe into this class again. So the bootstrap obviously isn't actually doing anything. Wait, I'm thinking about this wrong. I don't need this. Right? I don't need that. Yeah. That just doesn't need to exist, right? Because we don't want to define them in code. Is that right? This is the caveat of also not having touched modding in a very long time. Is that I don't really remember how things work anymore. So I'm pretty sure this part is correct. So this is the provider, right? So I'm just wondering, like, all of these actually extend a provider. What's this doing in configure? Nothing. What? Fabric intrinsic holder tags provide, right? But that's, well, what's one of these, which is one of these, which is the data provider. That calls add tags. Add tags happens where? Find usages. These are not usages. These are literally inheritors. Like what? What are we doing? What are we doing? These are not usages. Bro, IntelliJ is so bad, man. Thank you. This is what I was looking for. Create contents provider. Okay, this is insanely overly complex. What? Why have they done it like this? Okay. Interesting. So... But the thing is, we're not... So are we using this or not? We are using this. So this might just work then. That might just be it. Because these will just load it from the files, I believe. Do you plan on updating this to a new snapshot? Why? Literally nothing has changed. Like, as far as I'm aware, nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is they've added baby mobs, of which is completely and utterly irrelevant. Like beyond irrelevant. I mean, we can check real quick, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's literally it. Like I genuinely could not care less. I mean, sure, I can do it, but it's just gonna take like, you know, we're gonna be snapshot chasing at this point. But sure, snapshot 2. Wait, how did this work before? Oh no, that's fine, right? Yeah, that just becomes 41.2. And then this is, I mean, that's actually probably fine. But I'm gonna check anyways. It's so indifferent that, like, it won't. 18.0.0-alpha 4. There you go. And that's it. Boom. Updated. Done. Donezo. Well, yeah, that's literally it. I don't think there should be any code changes either, but we could check. Hello 7410, welcome to the stream. Okay. Well, whilst we're waiting for that, because this is going to take a while. Because it has to download all the Minecraft stuff and whatnot. Let's just try... So let me go into here real quick and see what it tries to even load. Because it obviously tries to load it as some specific type. Yeah, so a multi-block definition codec, which is this whole shenanigans. Okay. So that's the other problem with the multi-block designer, is you can't define like any of these things. Yeah. Okay, well, once that's done, is that done now? Yeah, okay. Let's just try build the project real quick. Just check that everything compiles. I would be very concerned if it doesn't. Oh wow. Okay, quite a few things changed here. So you can't create new chunk pods anymore. Presumably it's become like a static method. Also, How the hell do I get rid of these new IntelliJ things? I fucking hate them. They're so annoying. They're actually like the worst thing IntelliJ has ever changed. Ever. Like, what the hell? Get them out of here. I don't want them. They must actually... There has to be a setting to turn them off. Because they are so incredibly annoying. Like, they are actually... They are really getting on my nerves. This? Is that it? Yes. Okay, thank goodness. Get them out of here. Okay, what has happened to chunk pos? Chunk pos dot containing? Probably. Yeah, probably. Alright. That's fine, we can just replace all of these with... I assume actually these are all going to be the exact same problem, right? Okay, you... Okay, so these ones actually do need to just be a new chunk pause. There you go. This, I assume, is... Okay, that's weird. The fact that it's not getx and getz is kind of crazy, but sure. Same problems in here. Is that the only changes? This one will be chunk pause containing. This one will be... Yeah, so that's block pause dot containing, but then now that needs to become chunk pause dot containing, block pause dot containing, which is so stupid, but whatever. XZ, nice. I think that's it, right? Okay, let's let that run through. So yeah, I think we need to go through and think of a way to redesign this screen. Because it just doesn't work. Like, somehow we need to be able to define all of this inside of that screen, and that's just not viable with the current layout. So let's go ahead and give it a run, and let's look at the screen and let's try and figure something out. Whether or not this ended up involving getting ChatGPT to do it for us, we will see, because I am not good at design, but I mean, there has to be a way that we can define this. Like ID. Okay, let's try and think first of all, like what each of these components needs to be, right? So, ID, we are just talking about a text field. Size, that's not defined, so that will be defined by the structure itself, right? The anchor. I mean, I think that's always going to be 0, 0, but we can obviously, I guess, change that. Rotations. This is just an allowed list of rotations, which I don't know how that's going to work. How would you define that in the UI? An allowed list of rotations. I don't know. I guess just a bunch of checkboxes next to the rotations. Would it be the best way? Same mirrors, that will be the same. The palette we've already kind of come up with. Pattern we've already come up with. Port rules we've kind of started doing. And then these will just be 2 checkboxes / toggle fields. Okay. Also, let's get the Minecraft window back on stream. So, there we go. Let's do automatic as well. And we're going to need to not crop it anymore. I don't know how I cropped it in the first place, I can't lie. Reset. There you go. Okay. Do I normally have it in the top left? We do, right? I think we do. So I know what I'm doing. Okay, lovely jubbly. Yeah, so this is basically the screen we need to redesign, guys. Okay? We need to come up with a way to redesign this screen. Now, that may involve possibly using this export panel here to do that for us. That's probably the best way, just using this export panel, because even on small, we have a little bit of space. I guess that's not really that much, is the only problem. Maybe we make the palette smaller. No, that's already not that big, is it? Realistically. I also need to fix the friggin' bounding boxes at some point. Because it doesn't go to the edge here, and then also when you click on one of these, it doesn't properly do that. And it also goes way too far up here. But anyway, we can fix that another time. Okay, what we could do... What if we moved the export panel? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, what if we moved the export panel and we moved it to down here, right? So it just took up like this little section down here or something. And it would just be the size of the single button. And then on this left side here, we could have like a settings panel where you could click and it would bring up a separate UI to change or configure the rotations or configure the mirrors. And also configure these two. I think that's probably the best way. And then also we need to look at the port rules at some point as well. So if I click on, say, one of these and edit port rules, I've kind of worked on this a little bit, but basically I can now toggle the specific ones I want. And I can select them to be insert, extract, whatever, right? And the idea is that these would just be icons and they just change color depending on what you had selected. Like whether it's both extract, insert, whatever. But we also need a way to define there's other things, right? If we go port rule, oh no, I guess that's it, because you have sides and then you have port type, which is just a transfer type and is input. Yeah, okay, that's fine then. This is just up, down, left, back. Yeah. Hey, I want to get into modding Minecraft Fabric. What's your advice for people who have decided to do modding? My best advice is do not start with what you want to finish with. Just don't. Like, it just won't work. You need to start on something significantly simpler. Unless you're aiming to finish something relatively simple, of course. But I don't think most people aim for that, right? Or start with that. So I would say... I mean, you have a... Okay, I would say, number one, if you're following tutorials, don't copy the tutorial. Like, try and do things different. So, you know, if the tutorial's adding, you know, example block, try and add like an actual block, not an example block. So, yeah, even just figuring out, like, changing the name of things, you quickly figure out, like, what is what and what needs to be what, right? Like, okay, let me try and find an example. Okay. So, say the tutorial, for example, right? Tutorial's doing, you know, public static final item, sure, I mean, this is a fine example, I guess. Example underscore item is equal register item, you know, example item, new item. How do you do this again? I haven't done this in a while. Properties dot new, something like that, right? So this tutorial is doing this, right? You could then not do that, right? So instead of adding an example item, you add, I don't know, what's a good item? Bronze underscore ingot, right? And you have to figure out, like, oh, this has to be done like this. You can't just type bronze ingot. Like, that's never going to work. It has to be like this, and you'll pick up on things. So obviously that's a very basic example, but say the tutorial is on entities, right? Don't just copy the example entity. Try and do something different. So I don't know, maybe the example entity strikes lightning when it hits another mob or something, right? Let's say that's what the example did. Your mob should maybe do something different. So it should, I don't know, I'm terrible at coming up with ideas, I'll be honest. It should summon pigs when it strikes another entity, right? So the point is that you're following the tutorial and you're doing what the tutorial teaches you, but you're doing it differently. And that way you learn it a lot quicker than just copying the tutorial. That's probably the biggest thing. And then beyond that, it's just like looking up vanilla code, right? So say I want to know how to make a block that changes over time, right? The best example is vanilla, right? You would look at copper block, because the copper block changes over time. Yeah, I actually can't find copper block by searching copper block, because I don't think it's actually like a class, or is it? Oh no, it is. It is, actually. Never mind. It is class. And you'll see that this implements weather in copper. So you look at, okay, what is weather in copper? Ah, well, weather in copper is a change over time block. So that's probably what you want. You probably want a change over time block. And then you can, well, I have to decompile, but you can go to implementations and whatnot and figure out how that works. Say you want an item that shoots out a projectile, right? Something fairly simple. You're obviously going to want to go to vanilla and you're going to want to look at the bow, or a better example is just the snowball, right? Because you don't have to have the drawback and whatever. It's just not as complicated. That's kind of the idea. You want to do things differently, and you want to look at vanilla as well. And then beyond that, best thing to do would be the wonderful website, or not so wonderful nowadays because everyone hates on it nowadays, but it's a pretty good website. I actually can't show this on stream. How can I show this on stream? Let's go private window. would be GitHub, right? GitHub is a very good site. You know, you want to look up how other mods do things, right? So, for example, you might want to look into how immersive engineering does something. So, if I could type, then actually cannot type. Then boom, here's immersive engineering. So you can go through and you can look at how they do something. Immersive engineering, admittedly, not the best example because the code is shit. So maybe go to a better example, like I don't know, you want to look at how pipes are made. So you would look up the pipes mod, which is much better coded than immersive engineering. And boom, you find out how pipes. I mean, obviously there's a lot here, but you would start from the basics. You start from the pipe block, right? And then you know you go from there. A great start is also Corpin's. Yeah, Corpin has some pretty good videos as well. I'm not the only modding, you know, YouTuber. I bear in mind I don't even do it anymore, or at least I haven't for a while. Doesn't mean I'm not going to ever again, but yeah, I haven't for a while. So Corpin's videos are pretty good. He does also have courses, but I don't personally recommend them. That's up to you. I'm not gonna say whether you should or not. I'm just saying I would not personally recommend you do those because they are just the YouTube videos, but you pay for them. So yeah, make your own decision with that. I'm not gonna push you one way or another, but they exist. They exist. Say Corpin again. Why? I'm not am I pronouncing his name wrong? I've always said it Corpin. Is it? I mean, the only other way I feel like you could say it is like Cowpen, but that's weird. Don't like that. Cappen? Cappen works, I guess. Cayupen? 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 Bro, no one says it like that. What do you mean? You're trying to gaslight me. That's not how you say it. What is the key combination used to search code? It is simply double shift, or you actually probably want to use 1, 2, 3, 4 shifts because IntelliJ is stupid. Because that will include non-project items, but you can just press it twice and then press this checkbox. That works as well, but like you ideally want to press it 4 times because then it just does that for you. I don't know why IntelliJ does it like that. Eclipse makes it so much simpler. In Eclipse, it's just I actually don't remember. I think it's Control H. I don't know, something like that. But it's much easier. But yeah, it's just press shift 4 times, or just press it twice and press the checkbox. So that's the easiest way. Not Cayupen. Well, yeah, I know it's not Cayupen. That's stupid. No one says it like that. It's Corpin. Corpin, like claw pun. But core, you know? Core, like C-O-R-E. Core. Corpin. That's how I would say it. And if I wasn't going to say it like that, I would say Cowpen. But I think that sounds silly, so I'm not going to say it like that. Corpin Joe's courses aren't just the videos but paid, but they also go into more depth and have more than public videos. I'm not gonna argue with this. I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, so let's figure this out then. Let's go from here. So, yeah, we need to design this UI better. Are you making a physics engine or something? No. I'm honestly not sure how you got that idea. I'm a little bit baffled of where you got that idea from. Is something in the title wrong? But no, we are not working on a physics engine. Although that would be great. I would love to include a physics engine in Industria. I guess we kind of do have one, actually. It's not really ours, but we are using I actually don't remember what it's called. But Basti included it in the rotary kiln. That's what I was looking for. We are using JBox 2D, which is basically a physics engine. So Industria has a physics engine. It's just not our physics engine. But yeah, we are not working on a physics engine. That's way too much math for me, and I'm way too dumb for that. So we're not doing that. Okay, anyways, let's figure this out. So let's go to the UI. Let's go to the screen. Nope, not that one. Don't know why I clicked on that one. I meant to click on this one. I have way too many screens at this point. Also, this to-do kind of can go, because So what I want, by the way, guys, I don't know how much I've really talked about this, but I want it so I can just click on a block and then just like move it up and down, like in this UI, rather than having to friggin', I don't mean to do that, but rather than having to go over here and friggin', you know, place down one of these and then grab a wrench and then shift right click it and then shift right click it here and then go into here and then select this, and then there's just so much effort, right? I don't want to have to do that. I would much rather just do that in the UI. Now, I don't think that should... Oh, what the hell? Oh! Yeah, there's still... there are still some culling problems. I don't know why. But they happen sometimes. I need to fix that. I don't really know why they happen to me. And it's not really a problem most of the time, which is why I haven't got around to fixing it, but it is a little bit annoying as well. But anyways, I would love to be able to just click on these and just move them up and down, right? I think that would be great. I don't think it would be that hard to do either. The only, I guess the biggest problem is literally just how to draw the arrows. Now, Vanilla has added gizmos, and within the gizmos, you can draw arrows, actually. Now, they're technically not going to be like 3D arrows, so I don't necessarily know they're what we want, but if we find the render method, which I'm actually struggling to even find right now. Have I gone past it? I must have gone past it. How come there isn't a texture for the wrench yet? Because there is not a texture for most things. That's why. Look, bro. There is not a texture for, like, the majority. Okay, there actually... Technically, there is a texture for the majority of things. Kind of. But only because the majority of things are ores and the items that go along with those ores. There is not a texture for, like, anything that is not an ore. I don't think. Is there actually any? The only exception to that rule, I guess, is the alloy furnace and the rubber wood set. But the rubber wood set... Oh, and the pipes and stuff, technically. But the rubber wood set is just recolored oak. And the pipes are, like, far from complex, right? I mean, not complex. apart from that, I don't think anything has a texture. Oh, batteries kind of have a texture, but they are shit. They are so bad. Also, this button is inside the friggin'... It's not meant to be. Oh, but yeah, they're terrible as well. Anything else have a texture that I'm forgetting about? Oh, the fluid tank. Yeah. I'm actually probably going to keep the fluid tank. I'm pretty happy with the texture for this. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. Oh, the carbon rod has a texture as well. But I think that's it. I think that's the only other... Oh, the solar panel has a texture, but it's not great, as you can see. This is like one of the first textures I made for the... One of the first models and textures I made, so... Not great. Only other one is the crusher, but that does just use... Where's the crusher gone? Oh, here. That does just use vanilla textures, so like this isn't anything too special. Yeah, but unless I'm forgetting something, like nothing has textures. And everything you see that does have textures, like all the ores and stuff, were not made by me. They were made by someone on the Discord. I can't bother to find their name right now, but yeah, they helped out with a lot of those textures. And by helped out, I mean did them all. So, yes. Oh, I did some of the ores, though, actually. To be fair. If we go to, this one. Is this the right one? Yeah. I did most of the ore textures. In fact, did I do all of them? I don't know if I did all of them. I don't remember, but I did a lot of the ore textures, to be fair. So, hey, here's all the ores. I did, no, I think I actually did do all of them. Yeah, I did all of them. Did all of these ore textures. Unless I'm forgetting. It was a long time ago. Did I do this one? I don't know if I did this one. Yeah, I'm not sure I did that one. It was a while ago. Regardless, besides the point, right? I guess you ain't using a custom banding box for the solar panel either to get rid of the ugly highlights that lecterns have. I mean, no, that would be basically impossible. I just loaded it into the exact same world again. What an idiot. But no, like custom bounding boxes is just so much work for like no benefit. It's not worth it. I tried to do that with the drill. Which crashes the game, apparently. That is a good point. One thing we never tested when updating was the drill and the pump jack. We didn't test them. So yes, those do not work. As for why, I don't know, because apparently the run window is, well, it ran away. Oh, did I run it in debug mode? Yeah, here it is. Let's see. So, imagine something fairly basic. Basic elements in vertex align width. That thing I have to do in it? It is. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a pretty simple fix, though. So, that's not too bad. Also, excuse me? What? Okay. Whatever, IntelliJ. I think IntelliJ is actually just getting worse, I can't lie. Don't know how, but it does actually seem to be getting worse. How would it be impossible for the solar panel? Well, it wouldn't literally be impossible. It just wouldn't be worth the effort. Like, do you realize how much work it is to have a custom... hitbox? Like, it's a lot of work. You literally have to rewrite basically the entire collision engine. It's just not worth it. Oh, sorry about that, chat. I'm back. Okay. See, I freaking press unmute sometimes, and then it just doesn't unmute. I don't know why. I don't know, man. I don't know. What I'm saying is that I am back. I meant voxel shape. Yeah, it does have a custom voxel shape. Look, I will... Wait, where is it gone? If I grab solar panel. Yeah, look, you can see it has a custom voxel shape. So, it's fine. Yes, what I was saying before I realized I was muted. So, first of all, I want to change these back to 2.0. So, I think they need to be a bit thicker. Yeah. And then, also, they're obviously not right. Is this upside down, even? Yes. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's because it pops here. Oh, no, I see. I think. Wait, why is it not? Let me look at where this is called real quick. Render wireframe. Yeah, so that submits the custom geometry, but what that the problem with what that does is right. So this method is recursive, right? So it just calls itself on the children of that part. what I could probably do is take that camera position in here and then basically just do like a matrices dot push matrices dot translate. Do I have access to the client or not? Not. Okay. Minecraft dot get instance dot camera dot pause. Can I do that, by the way? I can. So then can I do negative? Would that be inverse? No, it would be I assume there is a way to get reverse. There you go. Does that work? No, it may need to be... Nope. Well, this was correct. That was reverse, right. Let me check what this does. So that scales by -1, so that should be fine. Suspicious. We could do that for each individual part, but I don't think that's gonna solve anything. Yeah, that doesn't solve anything. I didn't think it would. Therefore, presumably this doesn't solve anything either. Yeah. Hopefully we could try this, maybe? That doesn't change anything. Oh, accidentally moved something. Don't know what it was. Just want to see that it's not like way down there or something. But I don't think it is. Presumably it's not like way up there either. Oh, it is. There it is. Look. So maybe... Does that make it way down there? It does. Interesting. So if I just don't do that... Okay. Interesting. It is, I think, first of all, it needs to be scaled by -1. Like that. I also don't necessarily know that this is correct for getting the camera. I also wonder maybe we shouldn't even use this. That's rendered. var. Cringe. If I get rid of that, and then do vertex consumer. I don't think you can do that, can you? No. But what we can use is we can use Minecraft.getInstance render buffers dot buffer source dot get buffer, like that. And then I don't know if we even need this if we're doing that or that. Don't think we can hotspot that, can we? We actually can, and that actually does work. So we're not using the queue, but like it's fine. Also, it doesn't really matter, by the way, because obviously this is just, it's like, this is purely visual. This doesn't actually change anything because I haven't changed the code to let it do that. At some point I might, maybe, but far future thing, because that's very complex, so we'll leave it till then. Anyways, what will we do? Oh, I also want to test the oil pump jack real quick. I suspect the line rendering there will not work, or that's possible too. I assume that's once again the line thickness. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. So line width, and I'll just set that to 2 as well. And I mean, that should be it, I think. This does need to use albeit matrices entry. And this actually needs to be the same thing here. So it's at line width 2.0, and that needs to use the matrices entry as well. Okay, let's test that. I realize we're not even working on multi-blocks. But yeah. What I'm gonna do once the game loads, I'm gonna get a screenshot of the. Actually, no, I can do this now. 1 second. Let me try and find a screenshot of the current multi-block UI. Reason being is because I just want to give it to like Gemini or something and ask it, how does it think we can improve the UI? Oh, I actually can't see the entire UI. I forgot about that because my face cam's in the way. So I'll load it up and then just take a screenshot instead. Okay, let's place this back down. There we go. Nice, so that draws, and that also draws in the right place as well, so that's fine. Yeah, that's not going to work either. We'll come back to that. I'm not going to deal with that right now. Instead, I'm more interested at this multi-block UI, which this one. Right, so let's just, I'm going to full screen it. I'm going to F2, and then I'm going to close the game. And then I'm just going to plonk myself onto, do I try Gemini or do I try ChatGPT? You know what, let's try both of them. Let's do a little bit of a competition, shall we? To see which one is more capable. I suspect Gemini will be better because it's better at like design stuff, but we can try. So I need to quickly run to my screenshots folder so I can actually grab the image, of course. Okay, I have a lot of screenshots. Okay, so I'll bring you guys over. So, we want to figure out a way in which we can add a couple things. So, let's go back to the multi-block definition. Here we go. So this is basically the this is everything we have to be able to define within this UI. Now we have support for the size, because that's just like handled. Anchor is something we have to be able to change, but I think that's going to be done within the actual within that visual UI space. So we'll just have to manually move the anchor. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a problem. Then we have rotations and mirror modes. So these are both enums, I believe. Yes. So we have to be able to switch between or set basically the allowed ones, which we don't have. Then we have the palette, which we have. That's the part on the left. And then we have the pattern. Wait, is that the right way around? Palette is... Actually, palette is both, I guess. So palette is the part on the left and the part on the right. Because the left part is like the visual palette, and then the right part is the edit pane for the palette. So that's all there. And then we have the pattern. Now the pattern is just like the actual visual render, right? So that's fine. We have the port rules. That's fine because we have our edit port rules button. We need 2 toggles for these. And then we need a way to set an identifier for it. Now, to be honest, the identifier could just come up when we press export. Admittedly, so could the allowed rotations, allowed mirrors, the 2 booleans as well. They could just be export settings. That would mean we don't have to try and redesign the entire UI, which might be better. Yeah, let's do it like that, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just make these ones, and these 2, and this. Let's just make that part of the export UI. And then we don't have to go through this whole AI thing. We don't have to redesign it. We don't have to do any of that. We just have to make a new UI. Which is fine, we can do that. We've done many of those in the past. So, let's create a new class. Let's call this a export multi-block screen. They are still called screens, right? Yeah, they are. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad Mojang didn't decide to change the name of these to something else. At some point in the near future, by the way, guys, I want to work on a UI library for Industria. I really want to work on one. I think it would save a significant amount of time. So that's definitely something I want to look into at some point. I've done container title there, but that's not really correct, is it? What did I do for these ones? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. We'll just do that then. It's not a container. Now this will just be export multi-block screen. I guess we don't need screen. We just say export multi-block. 1 second, let me just check something. I'm waiting for someone to message me back about something. I'll make sure they haven't messaged me and I haven't missed it. Okay, they haven't. That's fine. It's fine. Not urgent anyway, so that's fine. Okay. Good. So that's the title. Let's make this public. There we go. And we can get rid of this. That's not necessary because we can just directly pass title in. And then we want to just say is pause screen. We're going to return true. Yeah. Sure. It actually doesn't really matter. Because it's only ever going to be used in creative mode. And I guess in the dev env. So doesn't really matter. So actually let's just not make it a pause screen. And then instead we're going to want all of our stuffs. So yeah, let's start by adding the text field for the identifier, and then we'll go from there. Just FYI, the music is a little bit loud if it's background. I don't. Is it? I feel like it's not. 1 second. No, I need to just pause it. Bro, it is not loud. I think you're crazy. Bro has lost it. Yeah, I'm listening to the preview back, and it's like, it's actually very quiet. So, I think it's fine. Bro, it is not the same volume as my voice. It's like, it's less than half. I can see on OBS. I can even show you on OBS, can I? Yeah. Look, you can see, this is the audio volume here. This is mine here. Like, it's not even close. It really does not compare. So, it's fine. Okay, now let's have a private text input, I assume is what it's called. Yes. ID input. Then let's go init. Let's go this.id input. Yeah, I know he's trolling wide. He's always trolling. We need a width. Where? Wait, I don't think this is what I want. This isn't what I want, is it? Is it? No. This is not what I want. I want a... Is this just text field? No. Edit box? Maybe? Yeah. Also, let's get this friggin' decompiling done now that the game's not running. Okay, so then we can do new edit box. And I assume that doesn't use a builder? Yeah, so this dot Minecraft dot font. Then it needs the X position, so that'll be this dot X plus 10. Sure, this dot Y plus 10. Let's have a private final int image, or was it text width or is it image width? I don't know. Image width 176, image height 166. Okay, and then we can also do private int x y. Let's do this dot x is equal that, this dot y is equal that, and then we can do this dot x plus 10, this dot y plus 10, and then this dot actually gonna do this dot x plus 20 because I'm going to put a label before it. And then this dot image width minus 30. And then a height of say 20. And then what's the final one? Narration. I'd never know what to put for narration, so I'm just going to put component.empty. At some point I'm going to have to come back in the future and I'm going to have to do all the narrations, but now I think that's fine. And this is add renderable widget and just pass that in. Don't we have to make this like tick or something? Isn't that's a thing, right? You have to tick it, I think. Could be wrong, but I feel like that's a thing. If not, there was a widget where you have to do that. Maybe not this one. So why is this not working? Can we work, please? Do I have try that one maybe? Doesn't actually seem to be one. Hello, Gaming Arunav, or Arunav. Welcome to the stream. Is that working or not? Doing something. Okay. So then below the ID, how do we want to do this? What do you think of the new Baby No Money song? I didn't know there was one. There is one. Damn. I actually haven't listened to like any of his recent songs. So I don't know. Is it for Java? Yes, this is for Java edition. Okay, so yeah, next best thing. I kind of want to do. You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to make it so you have like I don't actually know what they're called in UI terms, but where you have like it's kind of like a drop down, but like it brings the text and the options down from being like collapsed. I don't know what they're called. They probably have a name. Collapsible UI component. Accordions, that's it. Yes, accordions. I kind of want to have an accordion. Does it have nuclear reactors? Right now, no. Right now it does not. And it will not for quite a long time. Because we're nowhere near that stage yet. But eventually that is planned, yes. But a lot of things are planned, so that doesn't mean they're coming anytime soon, to be clear. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to have this as a... How can I do this? The best way would be to have something scrollable. But I think about that and I'm just like, oh, that's so much effort. And it just makes me think like, oh, let's just add a UI library. Let's just get that done. Which does make me think like, maybe let's just get that done, chat. What do you think? Should we just work on a UI library? might be worth it might just be worth just doing it. Which version? Currently, it is on the latest version. Yes, 26.1 snapshot. 26.1 snapshot 2 to be specific. Currently, but I'm gonna try and keep it up to the latest version at all times, at least during development. Whether I will do backports someday, I mean, I don't know. That's way too far in the future, so don't even ask that question. I'm learning OOP in Java. Anything you want to guide for the better? I honestly don't really have any advice for that. I don't know. I guess just try. I don't have any advice for that specifically. I mean, it's kind of the same as anything, really. You just want to like try different things. For OOP specifically, I mean, you want to try and find projects to do that involve using objects. So you want to think like, I mean, what's a good basic project that would involve OOP? I can't think of any, to be honest. I mean, you could go with something simple, like even like a banking app or something. I guess that wouldn't really use OOP though, would it? And I don't think you really could make it use OOP unless you made it quite complex. Like if you had different kind of accounts, like you had student accounts, and you had like current accounts, and then you had student current accounts, and then you had like, you know, but then that's way too complex. I'm trying to think of something fairly basic that would use OOP. Maybe like, I actually don't know. I honestly don't know. Are you doing it solo? Yes. Currently I am the only person working on it. I have had, because they have kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth. I had an artist working with me, but they, yeah, as I said, they have kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth. So I do not have an artist anymore either. Which at some point is going to be a massive problem, just so that everyone is aware. Because obviously at some point we are going to get to a stage where like art becomes the major thing that needs doing. So someday I will have to seek out an artist to help me with some of that, but that's going to be a long time away anyway, so I'm not too focused on it right now. But yeah, currently it's just me. I don't plan on having any other developers, but I mean, obviously if people want to help out, the mod is open source, so you know, people can feel free to make a PR if they want to. I would just recommend them actually discussing it with me first, would be nice. Because I tend to not code in a way that is prepared for people to work on it, so if someone is planning on working on it, then I would like to know so that we don't cross paths. But yeah, what we're going to do, change the plan for the stream, guys. We're going to work on a UI library for Industria instead of multi-blocks. I think it's honestly going to help a massive amount. Like, it's going to be mega. Because UI is just one of those things at the moment where we spend so much time on. I mean, look at the multi-block designer screen here, guys. Look at this. 1,028 lines of code. And that's just the screen itself. If we're like talking about the things inside the screen, right? So we're talking multi-block designer world widget. 118 lines. We're talking fake world seems slightly different. We're talking palette entry list widget, right? That's 248 lines. We're talking block entry list widget. That is 274 lines. We're talking this, I guess, is kind of different, but there's a lot going on in here, is what I'm trying to say. So I think it'd be nice to just have a UI library that does most of this for us. And it shouldn't be too hard, either, if we're being realistic. You saw Mechanism mod and Orotech just appeared recently. I don't think Orotech is that recent. Orotech's been around for a while, no? Or is it just made a release? Oh, it has actually just made its first few releases. Interesting. Yeah, I heard about Orotech a couple years ago. Because it was being developed by someone who I was good friends with. Well, I say good friends with. We weren't good friends. But someone I knew, I suppose, is a better way to describe it. And yeah, I mean, I think they're the same person. Let me check, actually. I'm not 100% sure. Unless ownership's transferred. Might have, actually. Originally, I believe, I could be wrong, to be honest, because it was a really long time ago. I think it was being developed by the guy who made Gecko Live, which is why the animations are really good. But I actually don't think it is. So I don't know if at some point maybe it's transferred ownership or exactly what's happened. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. I actually can't find anything about that. So I could be wrong. But yeah, Orotech, it looks pretty good. From what I've seen of it, it's very it's quite unique, I will say. Orotech. It's very different to other ones. But I think that's what it needs. It needs to be different. It needs to stand out. Does your mod have multi-blocks? It has a lot of multi-blocks, yes. Most machines are multi-blocks. I actually am kind of planning... I mean, let me think about all of them. I mean, I think all the machines I have planned so far are multi-blocks. Every single one of them. But I don't know... There are exceptions, I think. Like, if we're just talking like batteries and stuff, which are technically kind of machines, then they're not multi-blocks, of course. The only thing that isn't a multi-block is the fluid pump. But I am kind of thinking of making that a multi-block. So, yeah, I don't know. Make a multi-block clip? I don't know about that. When I say UI lib, guys, I don't actually mean a library. I probably should have clarified this. I do just mean something inside of Industria. But like a lib inside of Industria. So, like, you know, not literally a library, but like a library within the mod. So you don't have to install a separate library for it. It will just be in Industria, is the plan. But I think let's just get started with it. So I'd love to have a name for this. Originally, I was working on a UI library, and my name was Tabula Rasa, which is Latin for blank slate, I think? I'm actually not sure. It was a pretty good name, though. Yeah, it is blank slate. I'm actually surprised I remember that. Okay, let's translate it from Malay, but it is the same in Latin, right? Yeah. What resource do you want to be the base material? Like Mechanism has osmium. I don't think we really have a base material. I guess steel, kind of. Like, I don't know. We don't really have a base material. I also wouldn't really say that Mechanism has osmium as the base material. I don't know that's necessarily the case. You know, it doesn't really work like that. Screen. Oh, how am I going to do this, actually? My plan originally was to have a base class for all the screens, but I just realized that's not going to work with container screens. So do I have to implement everything twice? I didn't think about that. That might be a little bit of an oversight. How does something like OOLib do it? Let's see. Or OOUI. Getting started. Here we go. So they just extend a base OO screen. But like, how does that work for like container screens? Because obviously, like OOUI has they primarily use XML, which I don't want. I don't want like styles and stuff like that's just unnecessary. I just want like fairly basic stuff. So I want to have like V boxes, for example, or H boxes. I want to have proper scroll panes. I want to have just like better UI components. I'm not looking for anything insanely complex, you know. I don't think OOUI actually supports containers. I could be wrong. Yeah, I actually don't think it does, which is interesting. So that's actually not even an option anyway, which is interesting. I think the best way is to just have an Industria screen and then basically re-implement it all with a container screen, which isn't ideal, but there also isn't much that can be done about that. So the other thing also is I want this screen thing to have inheritance, so you can have like a stack of screens. I'd like to have like a GUI stack. I think that'd be nice. So yeah, we're gonna have that as well. What's the actual downside of making it a separate project as it is an actual lib? It's just like the problem with it being a separate project, right, is that anytime we want to like test it, we have to go ahead and like publish it and then re-include that in Industria. I mean, it's doable, but it's just like, no, you might be right, actually. Because I guess we could have a test mod inside the test lib, which would be easier to then test things rather than having to load up Industria every single time, which is a little bit hefty. You might actually be onto something. Okay, fine. You know, you're right. You're right. We're gonna make it a separate lib. Yeah, that's fine. It should be jar and jarable anyways, so I don't think that should be a problem. Okay, in that case, let's close Industria, and we're gonna have to make a new project. Now, I don't suppose. Let me see. If I do this, can I choose snapshot versions or no? I can. That's nice. Okay, so 14 snapshot. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, I guess I can show you guys this, can't I? Use mixins, use data gen. We actually don't care about data gen. This needs to go in Java, not Kotlin, and it needs to go in Minecraft as well. I am actually going to call it Tabula Rasa just because I came up with that name. I might as well keep it before someone else tries and steals it. So use Fabric API. We probably don't actually need Fabric API, right? We also do want to do that, yes. This would be way easier if ldlib2 mod was finished, which allows you to make custom UIs. Never heard of it, can't lie. It looks alright. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. It just doesn't look Minecrafty. Like at all, to be honest. So man, I mean, I also think that's overly complex. We don't need all of this. This is what it looks like, by the way, guys, for those who are not familiar, like me. Like it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look Minecrafty, I will say, because they've kind of just gone with a different style for everything. That's built in-game editor. Yeah, but the UI is obviously going to be the same as what it looks like in the editor, because that's the entire point of it, right? Yeah, like you can see that's kind of the entire point. There's more examples. What, like this? It just doesn't look vanilla. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is cool, don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool. It is cool. But it's just unnecessary. We don't need all that. We're not going for all that. Okay, 1.0. Yeah, let's not try and be fancy or anything. I am kind of tempted to make it multi-loader, but I think that's probably a bad idea. Is that a bad idea, guys? I think that's a bad idea, yeah. Let's not do that. That needs to be like that. Yeah, I don't think we need data gen, so I'm not really... I'm hesitant to include it because I just don't think we need it. So I think that's fine. Okay. Actually, I probably should have chosen to not include the common source set, because we don't need the common source set. But well. Okay, of course the Minecraft development plugin does not support 26.1 -2, so let's not do this then. And let's just use the fabric template, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Try again. Try again. I need permission. Oh my god, okay. 1 second, guys. Let me... Please do this the hard way. Unlock and delete. Okay, that actually forced closed IntelliJ, but that's fine. So, anyways, fabric mod generator. So, Tabula rasa. There we go. We're gonna go dev.30. Let's go snapshot, hopefully, maybe? Yes, good. But yeah, we don't want data gen, I don't think. Is that it? Is that all we can choose? That's fine. Okay. Okay, now I need to go try and find the folder where it belongs. Which I am not finding. Ah, there we go, found it. I want to know what's inside the zip file. Does it? Oh, I don't. It doesn't really matter actually. Okay, come on, Windows. Nice. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to open this in IntelliJ, which is hopefully going to open that. Will be lovely. LD2 live as a library for multi-block 2. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, this guy makes cool shit. Right, this guy's the same guy that made, well, I mean, he's the owner of freaking Modern Greg Tech, right? Like, this guy knows what he's doing. But, yeah, I also don't think it's ported to Fabric. Like, I don't think his stuff is on Fabric, right? Oh, no, it is. It is. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, he makes cool things. I just think it's a little bit unnecessary for my purposes. Also, IntelliJ, yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay, it is actually opening. There you go. Okay, we need to change project settings to use the correct SDK. So this one, apply, okay. And we just need to make sure Gradle's going to use that as well. Which is not, of course, because it needs to. There you go. Okay, and then if we reload, fix these, let's also get rid of some of the AI bullshit that always comes up in here. We don't need Android stuff either. Because we're not doing Android development, funnily enough, guys. That's fine. Yeah, that's all good. That can go. What's a compact source file? Compact source files are basically like files that don't have like class header and stuff. Like if I do new, we have to wait a minute. Wait, do we? We shouldn't have to, actually. Oh, here we go, because it has to reload and stuff. Oh my god. Stop friggin' changing my... Making me very angry. Okay, it is not letting me create one anymore, for some reason. Even though it should be. Can I do it here? Yeah, here you go. Yeah, this is a compact source file. So it doesn't have all the stupid shenanigans that are unnecessary. Cancel, close that. Okay, why is it just put it in the root package? That's obviously not what I wanted. Oh, but right, we can't do that. So we have to do that. Oops, put that in there. Let's refactor, rename. No, not what I meant to do. I want to do, I want to rename this. Nice. Okay, we actually just don't care about this one, I will say. So let's just like clean some of this up. Sure, whatever, we'll do that. Doesn't really matter. Let's also go to fabric.mod.json. Let's just change a couple things in here. Not, of course, that it's important, but save a little bit of time. A UI library mod designed to be used with the tech mod Industria. Nice. Okay. It's not great, but it's good enough. Homepage will be on here, but doesn't exist right now. This will be. I think I actually already have a tabula rasa repository, so I'll probably have to delete the current one. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we don't need mix-ins, and I don't think we will need mix-ins, so that's fine. And that's fine. That's everything. I don't think reloading is going to change anything there, is it? Okay, if we go Gradle.properties, let's make that 4 gigs, please. And then I think all the rest is fine. Yeah, okay, good. Lovely. It's default 4 gigs now, by the way, in the latest snapshot. Well, clearly not, because that was set to 1 gig. So no, it's not. Also, it is, yes. But not for Gradle, so that's fine. But that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Why has that done this? Wait, where did this one come from? Where did you come from? Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's create a UI package, and actually let's create first of all a screen package, and then we're going to create a we kind of need a way to shorten things, like should we call it like a TR screen, or should we call it like we could call it like let me try something real quick. Oh, wait, guys, I may have been an idiot. Apparently it's tabula rara, not rasa. I've named it wrong. It's meant to be tabula rara. Yeah. Wait, no. No, I was right. Wait. No, okay, I was right. Okay, Google Translate's bugging out, man. It's like switching between friggin' blank slate and rare board. But okay, it's fine. So, we do blank. Okay, this is so weird. Guys, look at this. Right, so I type blank slate, and it says tabula rara. But then I switch, and it says that's rare board. Right, so I switch it back, and then I say blank slate. Right. But then look, if I switch back again, and change this to Rasa, then this is blank slate, and now this is... What? See, now I can switch between them and it's fine. But like when I type blank slate... Okay, see, now it's fine. Oh, it's slate versus... Oh. Why? What? That doesn't make sense. Okay, whatever. Whatever, man. That works. That's good enough for me. So what should we call the screen class? Let's call it... I don't know. Oh, 1 second. Okay, 1 second, chat. I will be right back. I need to just sort something out. Hello everybody, I am back. I just had to sort out some... I basically, for context here, I found some servers on Facebook Marketplace for free, by the way. So I'm trying to get a hold of them. So I just had to see if that's all good. And I'm going to collect them tomorrow, so that's great. Hopefully they're working. We'll see. So yeah, that's just why I had to go, because apparently someone else was going to take them. So I've got myself in there just beforehand. So we'll see. You know. Anyways, let's continue. So yeah, we need to decide what to call this class. I don't know. Yeah, let's just call it TR screen. I think not go for anything too special. We don't need anything special. Okay. Now, I don't really know, like, in terms of how I want this to be structured, right? So, I mean, obviously, yeah, I don't know exactly how we want to do this. It might be nice to... I think for the base screen, we want to replicate some things that vanilla has. So kind of how I want this to work, right, is I want you to be able to supply panels, and each panel has its own, like, children, right? So and each panel can have, you know, whatever. So how it would work, I suppose, is that we have, like, some protected final list of like, panel. We can't call it panel because of AWT, so let's call it TR panel, which will be the panels. Hello Wide, welcome back. You missed my story about the servers, I'm guessing. But welcome back. So yeah, then we just have our list of panels like that. And then these panels will probably just be widgets, I suppose. I don't think they need to be anything else. Yeah, something like that. I think that's fine. No, servers Wide, not circles. Servers. I'm going to pick up some servers tomorrow. And then we want render. Okay. It'll be something like this. I don't know exactly, of course, how this is gonna work. And then we'll also need tick, which will tick the panels. What are you going to use them for? Well, that's the thing. I don't know. So the thing is with these servers is I don't really know much about them, because the person giving them to me also doesn't know anything about them. So I don't know, like, if they even work. I don't know it, like, if they do work, I don't know what's inside of them. Like, I don't know what RAM they have inside of them, if they even have RAM inside of them. I don't know. Yeah, it's very much a shot in the dark, but, you know, it could range from, like, waste of time to best assist I've ever made. And anywhere in between. So no, so I found them on Facebook Marketplace, and they're giving them away for free. Apparently they're demo servers. Not entirely sure what that means. Said they haven't been used for the past 8 years. So I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. I feel like that could go either way. That could be good or that could be like not great. Demos and demonstration? I think so. I assume so. I don't think there would be like demolition. But like, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think this lady knows. Because she didn't seem very confident in telling that to me. So I don't know. It's like an hour's drive away, so you know, if it could end up being a waste of 2 hours. But I quite like driving anyways, so you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be what it is. What's the widget class called? Does anyone know what the widget class is called? Because it's not called widget or drawable anymore. Abstract widget, I see. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow, and I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys for the stream tomorrow. Actually, will I be back in time? Or will I have to move the stream? I didn't think about this. So I have to pick him up at 4:30 and it's an hour away. So say I'm probably there for like half an hour. Yeah, I guess I'll be in theory, I'd be back for like... But then that's during rush hour on the way back. So I'll probably be back for like 6 and then I've got to have dinner. Okay, it'll be tight, but I think I'll just make streaming time tomorrow. So whatever happens, you guys will know by the time of tomorrow's stream, which will be a railroad stream, by the way, everybody. So hope you're all excited for that. I'm not, honestly, because I have to do a bunch of work before the stream so that I'm ready. And it's kind of boring stuff that I have to get done. But I will get it done. I have to get that done in the morning. I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing right now. I feel quite lost. I'm just trying to think, like, what is a panel? Like, what does a panel represent? Like, should it even be a widget? I think so, because it has to listen to, like, input. It has to listen to all of that stuff. So I think it does have to be a widget. I think that's correct. The important thing, I suppose, is that it has children. So the children, I guess, would also just be a list of abstract widgets. Yeah, and then it also needs a title, and the title, I guess, would just be the message. Would that be a correct assumption? It depends what vanilla does with the message. Let's see what vanilla does with the message. Obviously, we're not going to be doing what vanilla does, but might be nice to at least see what they do with the message. Honestly, they don't seem to do anything with the message. It's just not used. Yeah, it's not used, is it? Okay. Well, this message basically is going to be the title of the panel. So obviously the panels will have a title. Or optional title, I suppose. Not necessarily essential. So it'd be nice to have probably a X and Y position for the title. So we can have a protected index or title X and title Y. By default, we'll just set those to like, yeah, something like that. Nothing too special. And then in here, so render widget, I assume Okay, so that's called here. Yeah, and that doesn't actually render like the background or anything, so that's fine. So here we're actually going to want to render the background, and then we're going to want to render everything else, right? So okay, I think we're going to want some kind of like GUI drawing utils or something. I don't know exactly what we're going to want to call the class, but we are going to want some of the methods that Industria has to just draw textures and draw like 9 splice, draw 4 splice, whatever, right? Yeah, so yeah, okay, so what we will do is, okay, let's go create a new package. Let's call it util, and let's create a GUI, or let's call it, what should we call it? I am actually kind of tempted to just keep it called screen utils, but like I also don't necessarily know that's what I want. I'm gonna call it drawing. I can't see my keyboard because my mic is, I don't know why. Something's very off about my setup today. I think it's because I don't have a mouse mat anymore because I spilt friggin' drink on it. So I've left it to dry and it's friggin' not drying. Sure. No, I actually don't want to call it that for reasons we'll go into in the future. For now, I'm more inclined to call it GUI graphics utils. Okay, it's good enough. And let's just do the usual utility class stuff, blah blah blah. Rogue, new, unsupported operation. Okay, then we're going to want to do public static void draw. Okay, so we'll start by just drawing like a single texture, right? So basically an overload for the vanilla methods. So we'll go draw texture. Yeah, I mean, doesn't need to be anything else to it, does there? So that will need to take in a GUI graphics. Now, at some point, I'm probably gonna not do it like this. And instead have it so it won't directly pass in GUI graphics. It'll pass in some kind of like intermediary, so that I don't have to directly deal with like the vanilla classes. I think that'd be nice. But for now, this is fine. Now, what we do want to do is we also want to pass in the most important identifier, which will be texture. And then we do graphics.draw or render. Oh, it's blit, right. Okay. So then that takes in the render pipeline, which is it just render pipeline? Render pipelines? Which one is it? Is it GUI? No. GUI textured? I think. Texture. X, Y, U, V, width, height. And then we do want a texture width, texture height. So int texture width, int texture height. Like that. And then we're going to want some overloads. So we're going to want a public static void draw texture. Then we're going to want public static void we don't want that one actually. Yeah, we don't want that one. That one's just not even necessary. Okay, that'll do for now. We'll come back to the rest. Well, actually, let's do. Yeah, let's do 9 spliced as well, which I'm gonna grab from Industria. So I'm gonna plonk this on my other monitor. Actually, I'm actually gonna copy all the ones I have from Industria, like that. And I'm actually gonna copy all of the methods I have in there, just to save time. Okay. And then we could just get rid of these. Like that, because those are just all in here. Don't need to do anything fancy. Okay. Context.innerBlit. Oh yes, that doesn't exist. So, and couldn't you make a lib for multi-box and a few other things? I mean, I could, yes. Like there is nothing stopping me, of course. You know, and I mean, maybe. I actually don't think you can put it in there, can you? It's also not called that, it's access. What is it? It's Industria. No, not Industria. Raza. Dot access. Why don't I think that's what you call it, right? And then this is access widener v2 official. I think that's fine. I think it's complaining for no reason, right? Yeah. After that, you have one lib that merges them into one lib, and you have access. I think that's unnecessarily complex. It doesn't need to be that complex. Yeah, it just doesn't need to be that complex. Okay, let's also clean up some of the build.grader whilst we're in here. So get rid of these. Just straight up not necessary. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Okay. And then the only other thing we need to change is access widener, which I think you do in here. Would that be correct? Yes. Is that what you're meant to do? Gonna check. It is, yeah. But what I did on Industria was that. Just does just make that a little bit nicer. Other thing I will go ahead and do is this as well. Also, actually that's fine. Yeah. Those are the main things. Actually, can't we just use archive's name here? Or that, I guess, but I was more thinking that. Apparently not, for some reason. Don't know why not. But sure. What is this? Oh, that's not correct anyways, actually. Interesting. That's because I think it's named wrong, right? It just needs to be... it needs to have the dash in it. In which case I do then need to... Oh, I already had it like that in there anyways. So yeah, that's fine. That should fix that. I mean, having all your libs merged into one and having it as a dependency would be ideal for publishing. It doesn't really make a difference. Like at all. Because none of the libs I have are like, none of them you would have to download separately, like as a user. So I don't think it really matters. Also, I don't know why this is complaining, by the way. I've obviously broken something. Reload a couple times until it fixes itself, maybe? It will eventually fix itself, because IntelliJ will realize, oh, maybe I need to re-index everything. No? Is it not going to do that? Okay, fine, we'll just do it manually then. Has it fixed itself? Now we just have to give it a while for it to do its thing, you know? For it to lock in. Bro. Come on, man. What are we doing? Come on. We done? Yeah. Okay, lovely. So, now what we can do is we can do... Oh, we need our... Oh, I shouldn't have closed Industria because we need the textures as well. So... That's fine. Albeit a little bit annoying. Okay, so... Okay. So what I will do is copy this into new directory, textures, GUI. Okay, and then I just want to open this in Explorer so that I can open it in paint.net. how do I do? Open with paint.net. There you go. Then we just wait for this to open, which is going to take ages. There's Windows. Okay, I just need to slightly edit this texture, but it's nothing major. Yeah, that's it. That wasn't really anything at all. There you go. Okay. So, yeah, then what we need to do is to find inside of Industria the path to that, which is going to be this. Now, I'm actually going to make this public, and yeah, this also doesn't exist. This should exist though, so we're going to go into here, public static identifier ID, which we'll just do identifier dot. Is it not of? What is it? From namespace and path. Okay. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm actually going to take this out of here, and I'm going to put it into the screen utils. So CR screen. No, wrong thing. I don't know why I opened that. Into here. And the reason is because I'm going to have some textures, some methods, I mean, that just go ahead and draw those. So public static void draw background, which is going to take in the GUI graphics. It's going to take in an int x, int y, int width, int height, and we're just going to draw the 9 spliced one. So draw 9 sliced texture. I called this context, but that's because it used to be called draw context. Probably worth renaming that at some point. But it's fine for now. So GUI border texture. We're going to want X, we're going to want Y, we're going to want width, we're going to want height, we're going to want 0, we're going to want 48, and then that's the UV, and then the slice size, which I think is 16, and then, yeah, that's fine. Now, what it will also take in is a Boolean draw middle. Isn't that also... Yeah, texture width and texture height, but those don't need to exist, so those are fine. Then we just pass in draw middle. Okay, and then I copy this again. And we just pass in true, and then we just want to copy these again, basically, but call this one draw border, call this one draw border, call that draw border, and then in draw border just pass in 0 as the V. Yeah, then that's fine. For draw border, we don't actually care about drawing the middle because it just doesn't do anything. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to pass in a draw middle because there just isn't one. So we'll just put false in there because I believe by default it's true. Would that be a correct assumption? Yes. That's what I thought. Okay. Other thing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So that uses 256 by 256 by default, so that's not a problem. And all that means is that now inside of here, all we have to do is GUI graphics utils dot draw background graphics, and then this dot x, this dot y. It's actually get, isn't it? Yeah, get width, get height. This actually needs to be get x. This needs to be get y. And that's it. So that's all that needs to be now, which is much easier. I genuinely don't know what this method is meant to do. Let's go to super method. And then go to implementations, which we can't do because we need to decompile it, which we can't do because IntelliJ. So unless it fixes itself. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. Because it's just not don't know if maybe this one has the sources in it. Nope. I don't know. The sources just aren't working. Downloading them obviously won't work. You know what we can try actually? We can try /gradloom gen sources and just see if this does it. Maybe. Interesting. Oh, right, that's because the friggin' yeah. We can try it in here. Where would that be? Build? No. Fabric. Gen sources. That should work. Seems to be doing some stuff. Okay, has that gone ahead and indexing? And it didn't change anything. Okay, but now we do have the sources jar, so what we can do is we can just open the sources jar. And boom. Nice. So we fixed the jank, guys, it doesn't matter. So now we can go to super method, go to... But where is implementations? Excuse me? Go to... Wait, you're meant to be able to go to implementations. Why can you not do that? Am I crazy? Control H? No, that's hierarchy. Just click the symbol next to the line number. Aha! Didn't know that was a thing. So what do you do? Add title, create narration message. What does this do? So I have to output dot add title. What did it need to add? Element type. Excuse me? Oh, it's narrated element type. And then this needs to be create narration message. Okay, lovely. Then we want to draw the title. So graphics.draw string. This .font does not exist, but we can make that exist, right? So we can do. Do we have access to this .client or this .minecraft? No. Okay, we're going to want those two. So we're going to want a protected final Minecraft, Minecraft, and then we're going to want a protected final font, and then we can just use this .font and get message, title X, title Y, and let's also have a title color. Int title color will be equal to 0x 40 40 40 40. Let's have some consistency. There we go. Okay, lovely. Yeah, okay. Then we also want a protected final list of abstract widget of the children, which is equal to a new array list. Okay, and then we're going to want to basically add all these methods that it's complaining about in here. So we're going to want this. This will be the screen width. This will be the screen height. This will be just yeah, it's not going to do anything for now, but it is going to do things later. Okay, this needs to be render panel, and that can be a method we create in here. And tick as well. Use not equals or the thing under the IntelliJ option. I used that one. I used to not like that, but I got used to it, so that's why I still use it. It's very good. This is fine, I think. Only thing is that rendered in here? No, I didn't think it was. So we do actually still want that. So we're gonna want a protected int title X and title Y and title color. We're also gonna want those X, Y, whatever positions. So no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay. Wait, no, because the screen itself isn't going to have a title. 1 second. I'm forgetting things. The screen doesn't have a title because the screen has to have a panel is the entire point, right? So the panels go in here, the panels do the rendering, panels tick. Okay, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Okay, so yeah, okay. Next thing then is to actually add a way to pretty easily add a panel. Add panel. And we can just add a panel like that, that's fine. But we can also do some overload, which will be add panel. And then this can just take in an int x. This should also actually just return the TR panel, because this one obviously is going to be a little bit more complicated. This will be the title, like that, and this should just be the title in here as well. Okay, like that, and then that makes that just a little bit easier to actually add one of those. Okay, and obviously this will be further extended out later on. But yeah, most of the work isn't obviously going to exist in the screen class. It's going to be like per widget and stuff, not really in this class anyways. So that's, you know, there isn't going to be a huge amount more that's ever added to this class, because most things will exist inside the actual widgets and stuff. And the widgets will handle the other widgets and all of that. The only other thing that it might be nice to do. So we are going to want some kind of GUI stack, right? So Forge kind of used to have a concept of this. So you would literally have like a stack of GUIs. And then you basically pop the stack and it would remove the one that's most on top and not move the rest. Now obviously you can mimic this by just passing screens into screens and closing the parent screen, or reopening the parent screen when you close that screen and whatever. But I think an automated process to do that would be nice, and I don't think it would be hard. So I guess that's probably the next best thing. As for exactly how, I suppose we probably want some kind of static thing for this. So if we go maybe util, we'll call this a screen stack actually. And should it just be a stack? I'm gonna say no. Well, yeah, I guess it kind of can be a stack, can't it? So it will extend a stack of screen. Yeah. Well, no, it is actually going to have to be a TR screen, otherwise that's not going to work, at least for now. Later on, we might be able to make it work with other screens, but yeah, for now, that's obviously fine. Okay, so what this will have to do is when we push an item, we are going to have to say to whatever item is currently at the top of the stack, like, hey, you're no longer the current screen. You know, don't do whatever. Possibly also... I was thinking we could just have a screen stack be the screen. So the screen is always just a screen stack, but then that means it's basically impossible to do like, it would be impossible to do if Minecraft dots get instance dot screen is instance of, you know, my screen class. That would become basically impossible, because it would always just be a screen stack, right? Though I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, we could have our own thing, which is like, you know, public static boolean is current screen of type, and you know, you could do if Minecraft.getInScreen is equal null. No, not really, actually. What we want to do is, if it's not an instance of, you know, our screen stack, for example, stack return false. Else we can just say like return stack is not empty, and yeah, this basically, right? So if this itself was actually a screen, and basically we'd get rid of this stack there, we'd just not extend anything, right? We'd instead have a private final screen stack like that. This would actually extend screen. Now it would have to pass everything down, which I guess would be a little bit annoying, but yeah, I guess that's just what it is. That's setting the screen, but that's not really what we want to do. But yeah, that's fine. So this won't have like a title or anything. That'll just be component.empty. This is just a blank screen, right? There's nothing to it. Moreover, this is going to be probably a private constructor. We'll have a way to construct it like in here. Yeah, and then push, we'll just actually just push it to the stack. Peak, of course, will do the same thing. Like that. Is empty, whatever. We can get a size. Yeah, that's all fine. And then basically what that allows us to do is we can only pass down events to what we need to pass them down to. So for example, like mouse clicked, all we would need to do, so the super obviously passes that down to all the children and whatnot, but all we need to do is pass it down to the top screen. So we would basically say return peak dot mouse clicks events, double click, something like that. And we would do that for all of them, of course. So mouse dragged, mouse released. Hello? Okay. Mouse scrolled, mouse moved, all of that. Key pressed, key released. How's it going? Things are coming along. We are about to end the stream very shortly, though. Very, very shortly. Okay, yeah, that should work. Just trying to think how this is gonna work. Yeah, I think that should be fine. That should go in here. And obviously, I assume there's a bunch more methods I'm forgetting, like ticking, for example. We only want to obviously tick the top one. Actually, what does the super do here? Nothing. Okay, I thought so. But we want to tick the top one. Anything else? Init. We want to call init on all of them, right? That's fine. Is pause screen should be true for if any screen in the stack is a pause screen. So return screen stack dot stream any match screen is pause screen, basically. But yeah, because if any screen in the stack is a pause screen, then it should be paused. I think that's reasonable. And then we got some random ones, which I don't think we really care about. Okay, widgets. No, I don't think we care about those. I think all the rest are probably fine. Like render, we want to obviously render them all, so we'll have to do those in a minute. But I think the rest should close on escape. Yeah, that will need to be the peaked one. Things like these as well, those will have to use the peaked one. And the focus ones as well. Yeah, all the focus ones are going to have to do that. Skitchild Ass is going to have to do that. But most of these we don't need to do. So like that's kind of it, really, right? Oh, that is a thing. Interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. But anyways, yes, as I say, I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. I will be live again tomorrow, but we're going to be doing some Railroad. I know it's been a long time, but we are going to continue with Railroad. Railroad hasn't gone anywhere. It's just taken a little bit of a backseat. But yeah, Railroad going to be tomorrow. And yeah, I will see you all then. Good. Bye.